Good morning, and welcome to the 2021-2022 school year. Before we begin, I would like to recognize all of you for your work last year, and your efforts did not go unnoticed by the Board of Education, parents, students, and the greater Berlin community. I wish I could tell you that the challenges are over, but as all of us are aware, we must continue to be resourceful and creative. It appears that this year will bring a host of new challenges for each of us and our students. But I am confident that with the support of the BOE, collaboration with administration, resourcefulness of teachers, and flexibility of staff, we will continue to remove obstacles that would prevent opportunities for all students to learn and develop. I wish I could take this convocation in which all members would be present in the auditorium, but I appreciate the Berlin High School staff for being here. A convocation without students is just not acceptable. A special thank you to Mr. Dresko and Mr. Boyle for making sure this would not be the case. I would now like to introduce the Berlin High School Jazz Combo. We have Dan Lamarux, Joe Manzi, Nick Manzi, Kenny Wattinger, who will be performing for us. Gentlemen. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Julia Dennis, our board chair, could not be here this morning. She's in her own convocation in Newington Public Schools, but she did record some brief comments for you. So at this time, if we could cue that up.
We want to welcome you back to the 2021-2022 school year. I'm sorry I can't be here today. My district's convocation is today as well. First off, I want to thank everyone for going above and beyond the past 2 school years. You have conquered some of the most challenging times in education due to the pandemic and all the changes that have been required to make sure that the students are learning. It is evident that you all care about the students and do what is necessary for them. Nevertheless, the pandemic continues to change on a regular basis. Thank you for your flexibility in prioritizing our students. Every summer, I reflect on the school year, both as a teacher but also as a board member. Reflection allows me to grow, understand, and find ways to do better. Throughout this summer, I did a lot of reflecting. Probably more so than ever before. I reflected on the past few years. I reflected on my role as the board chair. I thought about all the extra work that every single employee of Berlin Public Schools has done to make sure that we are creating equitable learning opportunities for all our students. I continually thought about the contributions and flexibility from everyone: custodians, secretaries, teachers, paraprofessionals, administrators, and every person employed by Berlin Public Schools. I really thought about all the extra work that was needed, such as sanitizing the buses, cleaning the cafeterias, taking the kids out for mask breaks, contact tracing, figuring out distance learning, and a whole new piece of technology. I've even heard from Berlin teachers and staff that last year was more challenging than their first year. I couldn't agree more, but who would have thought that this is where we would be? However, everyone persevered, adjusted to the changes, and most importantly, advocated when needed. The work you did is greatly appreciated. Berlin is truly a special place, and I am so proud to serve as a member of the Board of Education and contribute in driving our district forward. As you begin this year, I know there will be challenges. Personally, every challenge I faced this summer and everything I reflected on, I would keep going back to the simple fact that we do this for our students. Everything we do is to help our students reach their full potential. I think about that student that might have struggled to make a friend at recess, the student that didn't know anyone in their class, that didn't understand the math problem, that student that felt lost and misunderstood. This summer, the Board of Education worked with administration to find ways to reach all students through learning recovery, enrichment, social emotional learning, and making sure we are meeting the needs of our students for the 2021-2022 school year and beyond. I love that we care deeply about the students of Berlin. Everyone's contribution is different, but at the end of the day, we're all doing it for the same reason. I want you to know that on behalf of the Berlin Board of Education, you are appreciated. When you face those difficult moments and challenges as we continue to trench through the unknown, remember, you are appreciated. The sacrifices you've made to ensure our students' needs are met, and the students need you. Have a wonderful school year. Thank you.
I would now like to recognize I would like to recognize those teachers receiving tenure. As all of you are aware, tenure is a matter of time. It's either 40 months or 20 months, depending if you were tenured in a Connecticut school district prior. I know there was some confusion with the program. We did intend to have everyone here, and hearing from the Central Connecticut Health District a Friday ago, we decided to just have the high school staff. So I know there's some tenure recipients that came and some that stayed in their building. Your picture will be on the screen. If you're here, you're welcome to stand up. We won't have you come forward. I'll just read your names. From Berlin High School, Warren Adams. From Berlin High School, Tyler Boyle. From Willard Elementary, Jacqueline DeBarge. From Willard Elementary, Nicole King. From Griswold Elementary, Alexandra Stackhouse. From McGee Middle School, Jody Borden. From McGee Middle School, Gerald Crean. From Berlin High School, Jennifer DeMeo. And last but not least, from Willard Elementary, Sherry Lebowski. Congratulations to all our tenure recipients. I would now like to ask Linda Holian, Director of Pupil Personnel Services, to recognize the Berlin Schools Paraprofessional of the Year.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm pleased to congratulate Christy Ketley from Griswold School for receiving this year's Berlin's Paraprofessional of the Year Award. Christy is a dedicated and diligent staff member in our SNAP program. She is the go-to person when a new student may need some additional social-emotional support. She's able to think on her feet in challenging situations in order to help a child achieve success. She's firm, fair, and consistent with her expectations. She's able to modify on the fly to adjust to whatever situation presents itself. She models strategies for other paraprofessionals and teachers. Christy's a team player, and her willingness to work closely with support staff and classroom teachers is a notable strength. She always has the student's best interest in mind, and she's by far one of the best. She embraces her role as a paraprofessional with enthusiasm, purpose, professionalism, and commitment. Thank you, Christy, and congratulations.
Thank you, Linda, and congratulations to Christy. I would like to ask Dr. Aaron McGurk, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, to recognize the Berlin Public Schools Teacher of the Year nominees.
Christy, can you come down and get your parking space? Good morning. We're so happy to honor the following Building Teachers of the Year. First, from McGee School, Joy Cooper. Joy, come on down. Joy has been an educator for 24 years and has spent 19 of those years here in Berlin. Beyond the classroom, Joy serves as a coach and team leader, as well as a BEA representative, and has served on numerous school and district committees. An outstanding social studies teacher, she values tapping into student curiosity about the past to make her lessons relevant to the present. Most importantly, Joy teaches students about life. She wants her students to feel listened to and valued, and to create an atmosphere in which students feel safe to take academic risks. On the field or court, Joy teaches similar lessons, teaching students to take a chance, learn from a mistake, and support their teammates. Joy is especially known for using humor as a way to connect and to build relationships with students. Joy is a tremendous asset to our district. Congratulations, Joy. Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk? Okay. Yeah, good. Lori Donovan from Griswold School. Lori Lori has been an educator for 20 years and served as a Berlin educator for the past 7 years. She is currently a literacy specialist at Griswold. Lori is an avid learner and participates regularly in professional learning opportunities within and beyond the district. She currently is earning her 6th-year certificate in reading language arts. As a literacy specialist, Lori is highly focused on building strong relationships with her students so that she can access the cultural capital each brings to school. Lori's approach to teaching uses the Seed of Strengths model. She believes it is crucial that we allow our students' strengths to define them rather than their deficits. Lori has always been inspired by colleagues who are lifelong learners and aspires to be an educator who is always seeking out new ideas to improve instruction for her students. Thank you, Lori, for your continued devotion to the students of Berlin Public Schools. Michelle Pryor, Hubbard Elementary School. Michelle has spent her 9-year career in Berlin, first as a part-time remedial math and part-time special education teacher, and now as a full-time special education teacher at Hubbard. Michelle enjoys trying to solve the puzzle of how different students learn and is guided by the quotation, "No two flowers bloom in exactly the same way." A colleague shares, her calm and caring nature not only make her approachable, but also allows her students to feel trusted and comfortable in taking risks. In addition to working as a collaborative partner with general education teachers and special services staff, Michelle also serves on committees and supports the school functions that make Hubbard a warm and welcoming community. We are indeed fortunate to have Michelle as a teacher in Berlin. And last but not least, Cheyenne Walensky, Willard Elementary School. Cheyenne has served as a school psychologist at Willard for 6 years. She is also currently in the doctoral program at CCSU. She is a strong advocate of supporting our students through social and emotional learning. Getting to know each student and developing strong relationships is a priority every day. Cheyenne works with students in general education and the special education population. She brings skills in restorative practices, trauma-sensitive approaches, de-escalation skills, and diversity training to support the varied and complex needs of our population. Cheyenne is not only an advocate for students, but she teaches them how to be advocates for themselves. As she said in her application, we cannot grow student minds without first growing their hearts. Her colleagues describe her as the epitome of an outstanding team member. Cheyenne, thank you for making Willard a better place.
Congratulations to Joy, Lori, Michelle, and Cheyenne. And please know that with the changing of the program, the tenure recipients didn't need to be here, but we appreciate those that were. I'm now pleased to announce Patty Pyrus, school counselor and department supervisor at Berlin High School, has been selected as the 2022 Teacher of the Year for Berlin Public Schools. Please join me in congratulating Patty. I got to say a few words first before you get there. Patty's been a school counselor at Berlin High School since 2006. And in 2014, she became the department supervisor in the school counseling. Patty credits lessons learned as a child for the commitment for doing anything that she does well. She spends part of each day reflecting on what is going well and learning new techniques to provide authentic learning opportunities. It's because of this continuous improvement that she has initiated the arduous process of becoming RAMP certified, a prestigious recognition by the ASCA as exhibiting components of an exemplary program. Patty has been instrumental in leading the department's work and establishing student workshops to ensure that BHS counselors are active, present in the classroom, and are able to provide students with a developmental guidance curriculum. A colleague shared, "Students appreciate Patty because she acknowledges their individuality and is focused on addressing their unique needs. At her core, Patty has a passion for ensuring that every student has equitable access to every student's potential, is nurtured so students may feel confident in their ability to make a positive difference in our schools and community, as well as in the larger, diverse global society. I must add that Patty, in taking over the Berlin High School department as supervisor, has done an outstanding job. I can recall my time as an assistant superintendent and some of the opinions that maybe were in the public regarding the counseling department, and what Patty and the BHS counseling department has done. You are respected throughout the community and appreciated. So Patty, I personally thank you for all the work in doing that. We have another round of applause for Patty. All right, Patty, the microphone's all yours.
Thank you. Welcome back. I truly am honored to be recognized. Sorry. I'll get there. My children don't like to be around me much anymore because it doesn't take much to get me all choked up these days. Like, stop it, Mom. Anyway, I truly am honored to be recognized as Berlin's Teacher of the Year. I know, some of you may be thinking, but you're not a teacher. And in fact, my official job title is School Counseling Supervisor. I ask you to consider that many of us here today represent various official job titles, such as school nurse, library media specialist, speech pathologist, and paraprofessional, just to name a few. Many of us have multiple job titles, like coach, club advisor, director, liaison, among others. We may all have differing job descriptions, content, and responsibilities, but in each role, if we peel away all those layers, we all have the same core. We are teachers. We are teachers because every day we impact our students, and we are changing the world, even though we may never know what will light a spark in each of our students. This year, it could be conducting that first science experiment that inspires a future engineer. It could be reading To Kill a Mockingbird that inspires a student to treat another with compassion. It could be delivering that dreaded oral presentation that empowers a student with a voice to advocate for justice. It could be the rapport you develop that motivates a disengaged student to come to school and earn a diploma. Because of us teachers, we equip students with skills and mindsets that open doors that would have otherwise remained closed. And we know it's hard to be a teacher. Research has shown that up to 40% of teachers will leave teaching within the first 5 years. There's constant pressure from students who want their PowerSchool grade updated the minute they leave the classroom. There's pressure to gather data to prove you're being effective. There's pressure from the government to tackle the hundreds of standards in the Common Core each year. And that was all before COVID brought on our Zoom bots, where we got to know our remote students from the shapes of their foreheads or the lights they hung around their ceilings. As teachers, we feel this pressure, and we also see the increase in stress and anxiety in our students. School counselors have the unique opportunity to teach students when meeting with them individually or in running groups. And at Berlin High School in particular, the school counselors teach courses each quarter to address the developmental needs of each grade. One of the themes consistent across the sessions and courses is the necessity of self-care. We teach these essential skills to students, but because we're so busy changing the world, we rarely take the time to practice them ourselves. For any of us who's lucky or brave enough to fly somewhere this summer, we may have tuned out our flight attendant, but one of the repeated safety measures is an apt analogy for our daily lives. In case of emergency, we must first put the oxygen mask on ourselves before we can help someone else. As we go through this year and are excited to continue changing the world, we need to remember that analogy. And there are many aspects to self-care, but here are a few thoughts. Number one, schedule time for you. One of my favorite hosts. As you know, I'm a big Disney fan. Says there's a lot of things in life that you must do. But there are only a few of those must-dos that you really want to do. It's very easy to let our must-dos dictate our lives. We get bogged down, overwhelmed, and burnt out. To battle this, we need to take time for the things that give us pleasure, help us relax and stimulate our minds. Do you like to ride your bike? Do you like to bake cookies? Do you like to read romance novels? Do you like to scrapbook? As my Apple Watch reminds me, just 1 minute of mindful breathing can improve my mental well-being. Number 2, ask for help when you need it. We all need help at one point or another. In many cases, we can find the support we need from partners, parents, children, friends, others close to us. If you don't ask for that support, the need for it will be revealed in ways that don't serve you. Speaking from experience, either your resentment-meter will spike, or you will find yourself holding grudges, being unkind and ungenerous in unexpected moments, often to the people you care about most. The flip side of this is making yourself available to others who need help. While it's important to keep your emotional state in mind, remember that practicing self-care doesn't mean being self-centered. Research shows that one of the best ways to lift your mood is to encourage, support, and love others. Number 3. Next slide. Look for the positive and say it aloud. In an interesting experiment at Yale University, participating teachers were divided into 2 groups. One group was asked to write about positive classroom experiences, and the other group wrote about negative classroom experiences. Both groups then graded the same middle school essay. The positive mood group marked the essay a full grade higher than the negative mood group. Simply thinking positive thoughts can impact you and those around you. Express appreciation, give compliments, call out triumphs, no matter how small. Neuroscientific studies show that practicing positive self-affirmations can rewire your brain to help you be happier, healthier, and less stressed. In the spirit of being positive, I will end by thanking you, the amazing teachers in Berlin. With our respective job titles and responsibilities, we all collaborate and support one another so we can teach. Please remember to take care of yourselves so you can continue to inspire students and change the world. Thank you.
I think Patty's last slide has a great message there for all of us. Oh, I guess it's gone, but not forgotten. But I can definitely relate to that, Patty. So thank you very much for a great message. At this time, I'd like to call some up that I skipped in the program somehow. I know how I could do that because we talk weekly, usually on various topics. But Evelise, if you'd come to the podium and share a few words, thank you.
Good morning. So, welcome back. Short summer. 2 months ago from today, we walked out, and here we are. Years ago, we asked Dave Irwin to really cut short convocation. And with that request, we agreed that BEA wouldn't speak. Over the years, that was 7 years ago, people have asked, why isn't BEA talking at convocation? Why isn't BEA talking at convocation? And I really couldn't think of a better year to do it than this one. We walked in last September. Zoom, hybrid, plexi shields, masks, cleaning protocols, and everything else we couldn't have ever even imagined. If I do say so myself, we were amazing. We were absolutely amazing. And for that, meeting with CEA Hartford County presidents since last March, in some cases 2 and 3 times a week, I realized often how lucky we were to have the team we have here. I feel this in my own department, in my building, and in this district. You are the best team I could have ever hoped to work with. From the certified staff, to the custodians, to the office staff, From the school nurses, to the paras, to the cafeteria staff, to the administrators, to every single employee. You are amazing, and I so appreciate being a part of this team. I would like to take this moment, and people in their buildings, not here at Berlin High as well, to ask the members of Rep Council to please stand, just for a minute. Just tell her, stand up. Thank you. These folks have always spoken up on behalf of their staff, and they represent all of us incredibly well. Our Uniserv rep has often mentioned what a great team we have in Berlin, and how invested they all are in taking care of their staff. Next, I'm going to ask everyone who's working on our current contract negotiations, again, in your own buildings and here in Berlin High, those of you working on our contract negotiations, because it is that time again. Go ahead, stand up. Give a little wave. Thank you. These folks have spent time since last spring working through all things Berlin Teachers Association contract, and I would like to thank them for their time, dedication, and most of all, for their desire to help. So here we are, ready to take off again. I have no doubt that you will be as fantastic as you always are. I wish you an amazing year ahead. Take care, best of luck, and please don't ever hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evelisa. At this time, I'd like to ask Aaron to come to the podium and share some opening comments.
Sharp yellow pencils, crayon boxes that still have all of the colors, fresh bulletin boards ready for student work, lockers that aren't yet filled with yesterday's lunch or last week's sweaty uniform, shiny floors and freshly painted hallways, books with that great new book smell. The beginning of each school year is marked with newness, new teachers, new students, new supplies, and yes, even new outfit-matching masks. As educators, each year opens with new promise, a remarkable opportunity to shape the lives of our students and the future of our world. The sense of opportunity at the start of a new school year is one of the reasons we are drawn back over and over again. We are a profession filled with optimists who come back to school each fall believing this will be the best year yet. And yet, this year also feels hard. It feels hard to be restarting with masks and COVID protocols. It feels hard to face more uncertainty about how the year will unfold. It feels hard to live in a country where public health decisions have become so politicized. It feels hard not to know when this will all be behind us. Like Yogi Berra famously said, it's deja vu all over again. And yet, here we are. And because of who we are, I know that we can do hard things. But none of us needs to do hard things alone. We need the spirit and community of others to lift us up. We need the strength to ask for help when we are struggling. We need our collective ideas and energies to face the challenges we are sure to encounter this year. Please reach out to us when you need support. Let us know your ideas and how we can help. Let us try to make this less hard together. To each of you, I wish you a year in which you feel a sense of purpose in your work, have the opportunity to kindle a passion for learning, and feel pride in the contributions that you make to the Berlin Public Schools. Welcome back. We're so happy you're all here.
Thank you, Aaron. Recognition for Service Awards. I am very proud and privileged to recognize our colleagues for their years of service in the Berlin Public Schools. Hopefully the colleagues are here, but I'd like to have you come up as I read your name. We have 20-year service. We did upgrade the service awards. They were kind of the same for years, looking very as if they maybe were from 20 years ago. So hopefully you like the upgrade. A little different, but if I could have Edward Beaupre, McGee Middle School. Cindy Botticello, McGee Middle School. Joy Cooper, McGee Middle School. Marlene Dema, Board of Education. Marie Geigel, Willard. Wendy Gemmel, Willard. Morgan Hanna, BHS. Linda Holian, Board of Education. Michelle Loveland, Berlin High School. Amy Marchetti, Berlin High School. And Patty McManus Engel, McGee Middle School. Next, we have our 25 Years of Service Awards. First, Cynthia Argazi, Griswold. Tony Salella, Willard. I don't think Tony's here. Lori Nelson, Berlin High School. Megan Soroyce Willard, who's not with us, she's at Willard. And Linda Trigilio, Griswold. "30 Years of Service awardees. Karen Coughlin, McGee Middle School. Dawn Primo, Griswold. And Wendy Rawlings, Board of Education. And last but not least, our 35-year awardee, Lisa Arabi, McGee Middle School. Congratulations for your years of service. We have one round of applause for everyone, please. If I could share a few closing words with you. And I'm doing my best to keep it to the hour that we promised, Evelisa, so we started a little late. Not returning to normal, rebounding to better. Welcome back. I hope that you all had opportunity to rest and relax and recharge. You earned it. This vocation to which you have all been called to does not get easier each year, especially in the more recent years. I thank you again for your commitment to education, to each and to all your students. You've all deserved a summer respite. And now we all return, and yet it is still not normal. The virus lingers, we've all been knocked down, spun around, and individually challenged in various ways. I have to pause here and offer each and every one of you a sincere thank you for your kindness and caring while I recovered from a motorcycle accident. I guess I chose to get knocked down, banged around, and a little more than everyone else. The challenge of the pandemic were not enough for me, as I decided, with my wife's blessing, of course, to purchase and begin riding motorcycles after a 30-year hiatus. That fourth ride, my last on a motorcycle ever, I suffered 11 broken ribs on one side. I'm not a science major, but I think I only have 12, and a broken scapula. This was following the many firsts for me. First ride in an ambulance, first ride in a Lifestar helicopter, first time admitted to a hospital, first time in ICU, first time in surgery, first time admitted to a rehabilitation center, and first time I could not take care of myself for as long as I could remember. So despite all my firsts, and the many firsts of last school year brought, I share with you that I feel very blessed and honored to be standing before you to welcome you back for the first day of the 2022 school year. And it is so heartfelt that I stand here, as many of you I've worked with for the last 29 years. And to lie there in a hospital room and think that you may not make it, you start to think about a lot. And I just gotta say, from the bottom of my heart, the warm wishes that all of you sent and to be here means everything. So thank you very much. There are reports that over 45% of Americans feel that the virus has negatively affected the well-being. This may be true for you, for your students, and the families from which they come. We are not returning to normal. I challenge you all today to consider instead rebounding to better. Viktor Frankl once said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Some people may be broken by a crisis, while others emerge from stressful experience even stronger than before. Resiliency enables people to actually grow through adversity, to rebound from adversity's negative side effects. Last year, we responded with creativity, with energy, and with dedication to ensure that our students will not be shortchanged. What was extraordinary to me was your presence, your willingness to work together to solve problems, your courage to teach under trying circumstances. You were calm in the storm. And what I mean, and Evelisa touched on it, meeting with superintendents weekly and hearing stories in their district, I could not be prouder than the work that all of you did. The fact that you came to work, that you pushed through it, that you tried to meet students' needs the best you could, that people changed roles, and the complaints weren't there. So you all have yourself a round of applause. If we could have that now, please. And this year, we can draw on those experiences. Last year was all new. This is only the recent generation that has experienced learning during a global pandemic. This year, we cannot return to normal, but we will rebound to better. We must continue to create new methodologies. I believe students will require a focus on connectedness to their teachers, staff, and peers. Their social fabric was diminished. We can help it rebound. Even while we strive for creativity, we must recognize and infuse the benefits of routines and structures so that students feel safe and emotionally secure. These were each tested and strained last year. Flexibility. We still live in uncertain times. We will still need to adapt and adjust and successfully cope with the change that can be both sudden and severe. Agency. We need to continue to empower our students, to permit some choices, promote some authentic decision-making, choices and voices. They will more willingly invest when we promote their own active agency. The positive interactions that occur daily in each classroom are what enables the learning goals that both you and your students have. We want both you and your students to pursue goals and find true meaning in the process. Learning must be the end result of sharing your passions together. Expect great things from your students, even while we expect great things from you. Finally, please know that I trust you. I trust that you have the skills, talents, and abilities to do the job. You are bright, caring, capable, and credentialed. Our job at the leadership level is to enable you. We want you to have whatever tools and resources you require to make this happen. We may not be able to provide everything that you would like, but we have a responsibility to support your efforts. We'll also support your training, need for continuous learning and skill development. And this is where you can trust me. We will maintain our professional standards and will respond as needed when teamwork. That is our benchmark and our trademark. People have always asked me, what is the greatest asset of Berlin Public Schools? And you're looking at it. It's all of you. It's the people. It's always been in my 29 years here. It's the staff that we employ. So I'd like to say, welcome back. I've missed you. I've missed convocation. We cannot return to normal, but we can rebound to even better. Let's go. Thank you. Couple announcements here before we conclude. The para-training has been relocated to McGee Auditorium, 10:30 to 1 o'clock today. And lastly, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize Tyler Boyle and the following members of the BHS Chorus. And here they come. Tyler, if I missed anybody, please add them, please, if you could. And we have Nathaniel Amani, Meredith Gendrew, Kame McLaurin, Sydney Nelson, Emma Roach, Sarah Rogan, Laura Sarzin. Anyone I missed, Tyler? And Ruth Brown. Thank you. And they're going to perform a song. Tyler picked it, but if any of you have ever seen The Greatest Showman, it's one of my favorites with my daughter, and the song is Come Alive. So Tyler?
They say
Have a great year. Thank you very much.